Hey guys, what is up? It is No Help and welcome back to another video. Today, if you guys like the video, make sure to smash the like button. Today we're going to be talking about getting back into old school RuneScape. If you're just getting back into it or if you are burnt out, I'm going to have some tips to get back into the game in 2023. So if you are just getting back into it and you may be taking a long break or just starting how to get back into it, what made you come back to the game? I would love to know down in the comments below. Was it an update? Was it the new skill being put out soon? I would love to know down below. The first thing I want to say is to take it very slow. You don't need to rush any 99s or maxing or getting a certain amount of items or money. There's no need to rush anything in this game. Take it slow, enjoy it, and have fun. There's no reason to be sweaty or super efficient playing this game. What I really recommend people to do is certain skills that they don't like as much, say maybe agility, or some people really don't like farming, is to take it really slow and just try and do like one level a week, or at lower levels maybe 1 or 2 levels a day, right? And the same can be said for things like questing. If you're not a huge fan of questing, a lot of people don't like questing, set yourself to do 1 a day or 1 a week. I've done 20 to 30 quests in a single day before, and let me tell you, it really made me want to log out of the game and really not want to play again. Doing anything for an extended amount of time can really make you burn out of the game. Even some really fun content at the end, like bossing or raiding, if you're continuously doing it over and over, it won't be as much fun anymore. So take it slow and enjoy the ride. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to recommend to do is to try new content that you've never done before. Now, this might sound obvious, but for me, it really helped me get back into the game. I was always a skiller, not a killer, so for me, Slayer was something brand new to check out, and I fell in love with the skill, and it's honestly my favorite skill in the entire game now. I really wish they made more skills similar to Slayer. Another thing was raids. Raids, another one where I just could not master it, but eventually I learned to do it, and I love raids. It's also one of my favorite pieces of content in the entire game, along with PVM, right? Just all types of PVM, doing bossing and stuff. It's a lot of fun. But when I was first learning it, it wasn't for me, but I eventually got into it and ended up loving it. Another thing you could dip your toes into would be PvP. Now, I'm going to tell you this right off the bat, it is definitely not for everyone. It is a really high skill level in order to PvP in this game, but some people love it, enjoy it so much that that is all that they do on the game. Skilling is another thing that you could do if you're not really into all of it. You could try and get, a couple 99s here and there with skilling. A lot of people hate certain skills like farming, maybe agility, rune crafting, but if you eventually get into skilling, you can find a nice rhythm with it and really end up enjoying the skill and get a ton of cool rewards and money from skilling. Another thing you could try out is minigames. A lot of minigames are a ton of fun. Barbarian Assault for me was surprisingly the best minigame that I've ever played. As long as you have a good team, it's extremely fun. Another one you could do is void and pest control to get your void. There's tons of mini games, and I wish that Jagex would add more, but it was one of those things where it's like you don't have to be efficient all the time. Have fun and play some mini games. For some reason, people seem to not like farming. That's some new content you could try out. Get yourself to do some farming runs, and I promise you'll actually end up really liking the skill. The thing I really like about farming is you set your patches up, your trees up, whatever that might be, and then you can go do whatever type of content you want. Check it the next day, or depending on how long the growth stage is, check it the next 60 minutes, 2 hours, whatever it might be, and you can go do whatever you want in that time. You can even log out, and your farming stuff will grow in the background. So for people who don't have too much time to play the game, something that they could do every single day would be something like a farm run. You log in for 30 minutes, do it, and then the next day you log in, you get a bunch of experience. Farming is a really good skill that you guys should check out. The next thing to get back into old school RuneScape would be to learn more about the game itself, break out of your shell, learn the lore of the game. All the story modes can be very interesting. Learning boss mechanics is also something that really surprised me. with this game, with just the simple combat system we have, the combat can be so complex, and learning each individual boss can take you a very long time. So honestly, learning different boss mechanics can really help you kind of find a passion for the game again. One thing I can't recommend more is doing the raids. You can do them solo or in a group. In a group, it can be a lot more fun. Solo can be a lot more challenging, really. But learning the raids can actually really help you get back into the game. I know some people, some of my friends especially, were really burnt out of the game, but when I told them to hop on and do some raids with me, they, you know, kept playing and playing even more because they'd get so excited about wanting to get better at the raid, eventually do some slayers, some questing, and then, you know, they're back and addicted to the game again. So honestly, raids I can't recommend more. Another thing you can learn more about the game is learn everywhere on the map. Try and make it like it's like a regular city and regular life. You can look at the map and be like, you know where you are at all times. I learned this at a very young age because I played Runescape when I was 9 years old. So the Runescape map to me is literally like my hometown. I know everywhere in the game. There's some people who don't know certain areas of the game, and you can unlock these with a lot of quest rewards, but get to know the game and everywhere where you can do stuff in the game. This can help you with clue scrolls and questing and just getting through the game a lot easier this way, and it can help you be a little bit efficient for doing so. Also, another thing you could learn about the game is different upgrades that you could get for your gear, or even just upgrades for skilling. If you learn about different upgrades throughout the game, it can actually make the game a lot more fun, right? If you have some better equipment for certain bosses, you can actually kill them a lot more efficient and better. You can learn the different attack styles to use on bosses. It's honestly a really good thing to learn about all the different types of upgrades that you can get. Now, probably the thing that I recommend most for getting back into old school RuneScape is to try out a different game mode. Most people are stuck on the regular game mode where you have access to the Grand Exchange and trading other players. Honestly, I burnt out of this really quickly because pretty much with money, you can get anything really fast and get all the gear you want, and at the end of the day, that's no fun really. A lot of people won money at the staking arena, and then that just made them easily max their account, easily get all the gear in the game that they want. Now, I understand that's not really a part of the game anymore, but there's a lot of ways you can make a ton of money to just speed up the game a lot quicker. So I recommend you try out different game modes, such as an Ironman account. It really refreshed the entire game for me. You have to get access to everything yourself without trading other players or access to the Grand Exchange. So if you want some food to train some combat, you have to fish it and then cook it yourself. If you want a piece of gear from, like, say, Bando's armor, you actually have to go to General Gardor and kill him in hopes to get that drop. This is super refreshing because you get to learn so much about the game, and honestly, this has opened my knowledge about the game so much, and I'm still learning things to this day with a maxed account. There is so much to learn on this game, and it's a really accomplishing feeling when you've done it all of yourself. You see every item in your bank, you know that you've got that yourself without using the Grand Exchange or trading other players. Now, you can still interact with other players, like doing raids with them, you can still talk to them in clan chats and stuff, but it's kind of like playing the game solo, and it's really refreshing and a ton of fun. If you want to step it up even harder, you can play the ultimate Ironman game mode. This is pretty crazy because you don't have access to a bank, you can't trade other players or use the Grand Exchange, so you literally just have your inventory and your worn equipment, and I guess you have your house where you can store things as well. But this makes the game extremely challenging, where you kind of have to decide what you want to keep. Now, I understand that game mode would not be for everyone, but there is a lot of people that when I tell them to play Ironman mode, it really gets them back into the game and refreshes them and makes them super excited to log in every day. Let's put it this way, if the Ironman game mode wasn't a thing, I honestly don't even know if I would be playing the game anymore. Other people have also made their own types of game modes where they like maybe lock themselves in a restricted area. You could try something like this out as well if you're really bored of the game. Also, people make pure accounts for PKing. You can make a skiller where you just train skills and not combat, or you could make like a collection logger account, a clue scroll account where, say, when you get a clue scroll, you have to get all of the items and everything required to finish that clue scroll. I know a ton of people have made these types of accounts and had a ton of fun doing so. Another thing that can really help you get back into the game is trying to fill out the collection logs, especially the pets. Now, pets are very rare drops from either bosses or skilling activities or mini games, whatever they might be from. You can collect pets in the game. They're a very rare chance, but it will get you endless hours of content to do, and you will learn so much about the game. I'm not sure. I don't think anyone has completed all pets. I mean, maybe a couple people have, but it's very rare to get all pets in the game. So like we'll go through them as an example. So this one right here, you have to get from the Abyssal Sire. This one right here, you have to get from the Alchemical Hydra, the Callisto Cub. All the bosses in the game pretty much have a pet variant, and as you can see, I have a maxed account. I've been playing since 2017, and I've only got 8 out of the 52, and I actually think I'm extremely lucky with a few. For example, I got the Smoke Devil pet, very low KC, Kraken, very low KC, the Young Lift, very low KC, and the Smolcano, very low KC. I shouldn't have had the agility pet for the level I was at, and there's just so much. Like, each one can take you thousands of hours if you go super dry at it, but it can be something really cool to fill out the collection log slots in the game. Say you like a boss a lot, I'll go to the Gauntlet, for example, something I did, green log. If you like the Gauntlet activity, you can try and fill out the collection log slot for it, or whatever activity you want in the game. Say you like killing Cerberus, you can try and get every single drop from it, and a lot of people wouldn't be playing the game if it wasn't for the collection log slots. It makes them have something to go for once they're already maxed, and it can be very motivating to see those collection log numbers stack up. If you're really into raids, you can even fill these up, or clue scrolls, you can fill these up, and even mini games. You can try and complete as many mini games as you possibly can, something I might try to do in the future. Another thing that can help people get back into the game is to play 2 accounts. Some people are really scared to say start an Ironman account because they don't want to give up their main account that they've already worked so hard on, and I totally understand that. So you can actually play 2 accounts at the very same time. You can set your main up at something very AFK and try the Ironman game mode out, and if it's not for you, then it is what it is. You didn't really waste any time there, right? Other people play 2 accounts. Maybe they have an alt to make money. A lot of people make Slayer alts, for example, and then kill a boss or kill something that's kind of AFKable, and they can make tons of money and swap it over to their main. This is totally allowed by Jagex, and playing 2 accounts, having 2 sets of separate goals, can really motivate you to keep playing the game. And another thing that can help you get back into the game is to build yourself a bank. Try and make as much money as you possibly can with all of the activities that I've listed, like Slayer, raids, bossing, skilling, and try and make yourself have every item that you've ever wanted in the game. So say you want a maxed PVM set, you can go for that. That'll cost you a ton of money, like billions of GP, so it can keep you entertained for a very long time. And trying to build your bank to get all of your dream gear items. This is something that I'm going to be doing very slowly. I am an Ironman account, so it's going to take extremely long because I actually have to do all the content instead of just make the GP for it. But I know a ton of people that have really were burnt out of the game, and I would say, like, oh, go for a twisted bow or something, and it's like, it's a challenge at that point. Okay, I'll go for a twisted bow, and they save the 2 billion GP and buy a twisted bow, and then once you've, you know, done that, it's like, okay, what's next, right? It can really help you get back into the game and motivate you to keep playing. Another thing I really want to mention is understand that all content on this game isn't for you. There's certain things you're just not gonna like doing, or you're gonna want to refuse to do. I'll leave a couple examples for me. The Agility Sepulcher course, I suck at. I've tried it. I've really tried to learn it. It's not for me. I prefer to just run the regular laps. Another thing, I really like doing raids, but for me, raids 1 is really hard, and I'm gonna really have to learn that one day. But for now, it's too hard for me, and I'm not going to do it because I don't enjoy that. I do love Raids 2 and Raids 3, but Raids 1 right now is not for me. Another thing I suck at is PvP. Now, I understand a lot of people like PvP and want to get better. I'm not trying to say that you can't learn it or whatever, but I know that PvP is not for me. So yeah, there's a bunch of things in this game that aren't going to be for every single person. That could be skilling, it could be farming, it could be Slayer, it could be PvM, could be something that you know, that's just not for you. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the entire video today. If you went ahead and watched the whole video, go ahead and comment tuna down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for all of the support lately. I will catch you guys in the next video. See ya later.